Hi, and welcome to the Five Spheres podcast. I am Sabrina, the president, and I'm here with Noel, the founder. The Five Spheres is a lifestyle strategy that constantly evolves with you. The five spheres are the physical, the mental, the social, the financial, and the educational spheres. There are 2 more weeks or a little less left in 2023, Noel. And I want to know, how have your five spheres been this year? How have you kept them in balance? Are they even in balance? Give me your rapid fire five spheres analysis.
All right. Okay, let me run through what has been a fantastic year for me, Sabrina, 2023. So, in my physical sphere, I picked up on intermittent fasting, went great. I also, of course, addressed my love of different crazy workouts. In my mental sphere, Sabrina, I've been doing my 15 minutes of decompression every day. Love it. It has made all the difference in the world for me. I've also been practicing some meditation and doing some other sort of calming things. In my financial sphere, as you know, we really grew our business, doubled it in size, and with all of that came lots of challenges, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But everything went pretty well. Not without some bumps in the road, but it went pretty well. I'm excited about that. And then, of course, our five spheres of fit, growing organically, and then maybe looking at some different growth opportunities there. In my social sphere, ooh, that was a little tougher this year. We'll talk about that. And then in my educational sphere, as you know, I'm always downloading different things and putting little notes on my phone and reading up on stuff. So 2023 was a great year for growth mindset for me. So I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty
I
good.
love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I want to ask you some questions within your five spheres. Um, Intermittent fasting. You've actually suggested I look into it because maybe it will help me feel better physically. And I'm like, no, I don't want to fast. So you fast, I'm going to share, you fast about 22 hours from January through April. And you do that because we have a tax business. And so you are like, just go, go, go. You're constantly busy between January and April. So that makes it easier for you to fast. How does that feel good for you?
Serena, I am not a foodie. I am a true tried and true silverback gorilla. I will sit on the ground with a bowl of broccoli and just chomp that thing until it's gone, and I'm good. So the
You know, and everyone knows that I would literally be on the floor passed out if I did that.
uh, you would need you'd eat the broccoli. You just need
I
all
need
of
the
the
broccoli,
vitamins and other
but
stuff. But
I need my latte along with it.
and I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
Um, Look, it's come on. It's absolutely 100% subjective. It works for me. I cannot, I'm so active, Sabrina, that like when I'm sitting down, like I cannot the concept of just eating for the purpose of eating is not something I eat to just so I don't die. I mean, that's
Yeah.
essentially what. So I recognize it's a lot easier for me than it would other people. But I promise you, if you do the research on intermittent fasting, and I would encourage everyone out there, go take a look at it. You don't have to do 22 hours. Am I a little crazy? Everyone knows I am, and it just works for me. But do the research. Take a look at it. It's the kind of stuff, Sabrina, that can actually put type 2 diabetes on rewind and get rid of it. I mean, it's so profound, and there's a real opportunity there. But again, I encourage everyone, go do your research, see if it works for you. But
Talk to
it,
your physician.
yeah, I
Yes.
loved it. I and then when the season's over, I go to 16-hour fast because I'm working out, and it works. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, I feel great, and I don't think I've ever been that person that you look at and go, that he's not fit. So it's working. That's all I can say. It works.
Okay. Question in your mental sphere. 15-minute decompression time. Even our 10-year-old daughter knows that, Daddy, did you do your 15-minute decompression today?
Yeah,
15 minutes. That is enough for you?
it is. And actually,
And what do
let's
you
call
do?
it's the 15-minute snoozer. So I literally go, and it's usually like I think it's almost always, Sabrina, midday, and that's because it's where I think my mornings are usually pretty busy, and so by like 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock, I start to feel like that fatigue. And I realize that if I take a nap, like a proper, like hour long or maybe a little longer nap, I'm done. But I figured out that 15-minute window where I can, almost feels like I'm getting the best sleep I've ever had. And then I've just programmed pop up. I put the alarm on, obviously, but man, Sabrina, it is such a game changer. I don't think there's anything that I do, and this includes my workouts, eating. I don't think there's anything that I do that's more beneficial to me than that 15 minutes of decompression. And again, I'll go right back to it. I would encourage everyone out there, figure out what's going to work for you, what's going to help you come down from the highs. I live on highs sometimes, and I need to come down from those. And I also need to get rest, so that, because my brain is constantly working, Sabrina. So I need that time. And it's been awesome. I promise you, it is awesome.
This is how you know the five spheres are completely subjective, because if I laid down around 2 or 3 p.m. for 15 minutes, I'd be out for 2 hours. So
I,
great job finding what works for you.
I've witnessed you trying to pull.
I'll get up and I'm like, I can't do this. I just need to keep going, going, going until the end of the day. So I
Yeah.
cannot do 15 minutes. But I applaud you for figuring that out over the years. Financial, you said we doubled our business last year. How did you know it was the right time? And how did you not let that negatively affect your mental and physical sphere? That was a
It,
lot. It was a big decision. It was a lot to take on.
financially, having done all of the things I've done in my life, as an attorney, as someone who's dealt with the financial services world and being a financial advisor, wealth manager, I'm always in tune with that world, and I see it like as in my role in our household to be the one that's kind of leading that, and so it just felt like, given the financial circumstances and how we were doing with our saving and investing, growth was the right time. In 2023, just felt like that was going to be the year. So in 2022, when I made the decision, we got a great deal, and this looked like something that was going to work because we had the people in place to pull it off. So obviously, you've got 6, 7 different locations that you're going to. It's hard, and then you've got to manage staff, from off site, and then you've got to hope that the area manager's doing the work that needs to be done to make us just basically a copy of what we had already done. So we were already successful in the H&R Block franchise world, and this just gave us a leg up. And I wore it as, I think it was for me, Sabrina, like, there's not a lot of things that I'm doing that I can hold out and go, "Hey, look, this is going well, and I'm very proud of this." And I felt really great when H&R Block called me and let me know, hey, you're our largest franchisee in South Texas and fourth largest in the state, and congratulations on your growth and the success that you're having. We look forward to more of it. It just gave me that encouragement. So that was it, and it was so hard, Sabrina. Like, man, that driving, I was all over the place, but I knew the end goal, and the end goal was, I want to take care of you. I want to take care of Naima and be able to do things for our family and our extended family, and just put us in a position so that whether we have an early retirement or we're just funding Five Spheres, that was it. But yeah, it was, what a great year 2023 was financially.
I'm going to skip social sphere because I feel like that's where you have the most challenge, and move to the educational sphere. I know you are someone who is constantly learning and feeding that mind. You're always reading, whether it's a book or on your phone. Sometimes I even get frustrated with you, like, what are you looking at on your phone? And you're just, adding more knowledge to that amazing brain of yours. But what about a hobby other than CrossFit?
Wow. That's a great question. That actually in itself, that's what I'm looking forward to for 2024. You have talked to me, feels like endlessly, about picking up a hobby, and I'm thinking, my gosh, all of the things that I'm doing already, I don't know that I have time for that. But you make a great suggestion to me, and that is this would be an outlet for me. So if I couldn't find the time socially to connect with others because maybe their schedule is not quite as flexible as mine, or when they are available, the people who I might choose to get together with, and I'm not available, like what do I do? So Sabrina, I am, and I don't know what that will look like, but I've always wanted to be involved in just conversation about world topics or whatnot. And I had joined the World Affairs Council, and I just couldn't find time to get to that our
Yeah.
darn thing.
And COVID
Uh,
hit at that
yeah,
time.
so that was tough. I joined the board of a local nonprofit, which I love. That's every so often, but I agree with you. I've got to find that hobby, that additional, maybe more of an intellectual outlet, or perhaps just something to have conversation about.
Or
I love,
physical.
you
I
know,
know people have invited you to play golf or perhaps
yeah.
basketball or tennis. That's a like-minded individual that's, focused on physical health. And
Right.
so did
Be
we
careful.
just come up with, look at the interplay between that educational sphere, the social sphere, and the physical sphere there. Tell me about your social sphere. Why do you feel like it's been so hard for you?
Well, I kind of just suck at organizing that aspect of life. I'll be honest with you. I mean, we read, I think, together because I know we put some resources up on our app and on our website that men typically struggle in this area, and
Absolutely.
loneliness is actually kind of a big deal. And I'll admit, I've struggled a little bit in that area with loneliness because I don't have like a group of guys to go out with, and I feel like I've tried to do that, and for whatever reason, it just really didn't work out. And I think finding a hobby that takes me to a place with others could definitely help solve that. I work out alone in the garage because it's kind of like my space to clear my head beyond the 15-minute snoozer I mentioned to you. And I love that. And I don't think that I would ever change that for anything. I don't long for a workout partner. I had a great one about 10 years ago, and I don't know that I'll be able to replicate that. And then I had one even before that time. Shout out to my friend Cameron, who we had the best of times, and we're still connected on Facebook. But Sabrina, I don't know how that would work. And 2024, if I'm looking at the hobby stuff, social sphere is definitely going to be one of the top priorities to help me figure out some balance because obviously I need that because you're my best buddy, but I mean you probably won't.
You're my best buddy too, Noel. Well, I appreciate you being so honest and vulnerable. I know we've shared a lot of the five spheres with others this year for the first time, and I think that's what it takes for people to understand what we mean by be the best version of yourself with the five spheres lifestyle strategy. You also do journaling. Um, Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, hey, how about your rapid fire 2023 five
Oh,
C's? Everyone wants to know, how you did.
okay. I will share mine. The physical. Physical's a constant focus for me. I realized about 2, 3 years ago that gluten was something that my body does not do well with. So sometimes I'm a little tempted and I will have a little gluten, and then the next day I am sick. I get a lot of fuzzy brain, and I see you nodding your head. Sometimes I do it and the next day I don't feel well, and I don't tell you because of that, because of that nod shaking you just did. But it is a constant challenge, and I'm focused on this year being more strict with myself when it comes to that. I also notice as I get older and my hormones are changing that I also cannot drink alcohol as much as I used to. Not that I used to drink a lot anyway, but even a couple of glasses of wine per night or on a weekend negatively affects
Ah,
me and affects my hormone levels. So that's something I've cut back on, and I'm happy to say that. But I know as I get older, these are challenges I'm going to have to be more aware of and continue learning more about my body. So but constant focus on that. And the physical challenges usually affect my mental sphere. What I eat, I know affects my mental sphere. And I've always dealt with, depression, anxiety. So just constantly working on it. I want to meditate more. This morning, I meditated for a few minutes in the room, but I need to do more of it. I need to find more peace in my life as life gets more hectic. So those are the two that I struggle most with. My social sphere, I think I had a big win this year and a big coming to. I've always had lots of social circles, but this year I realized that some of the circles were not supportive like I needed them to be. And I don't think I was being unrealistic. So, someone we know, Chrissy Pena, a little shout out to her, she had posted on her social media that some friendships are seasonal, and that's okay. It's time to let go and move on to the next season. And that's what I did with a couple of friendships. And I was very proud that I was able to do so without any regrets. I still look back at the memories fondly, but it's time to move on as I'm evolving. My friendships are evolving, and that's okay. So social sphere, looking good. Financial sphere, I'll be honest, I'm relying on you for that. Some people will not agree with that. That's just how you and I are, it's part of our social sphere too. We're good partners, especially when it comes to business. So we rely on each other to make decisions financially. So I'm happy with that. When it comes to the 5 spheres as a business, we're going to grow it organically. We just want to share it with people. So I feel balanced financially, and educationally has been amazing as well. So educationally, I started a new podcast with my cousin, Indian Explorers. I've met so many people around the world through it and learned so much about them. I asked you for a guitar last year and I hardly played it, but I picked it up this week and it's making my mental sphere so happy. So educational sphere is doing well. So in a nutshell, social, financial, educational, end the year pretty well, physical and mental. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress every day. And I will continue to do so. So is that rapid
What,
fire?
yeah, that's rapid. What are you most excited for then for 2024, given everything that you went through in 2023 and some of the positive changes and some of the challenges? What are you excited for 2024?
So balance, happiness, and feeling good physically and mentally, and having consistency in especially those 2 spheres. I think that's what I'm looking forward
Do
to
you
most.
Now, obviously, you're going to use the 5 spheres. Do you have maybe some ideas of some things that you'll be doing in 2024 that you want to share, or have you thought of those yet?
For the physical sphere, no. I mean, I'm going to continue working out, eating well. For the mental sphere, I do want to meditate more. I think that's going to be my focus.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah. And I want to teach that to our daughter. And I think doing it with her will make me even happier.
I love that. And Sabrina, I love the fact that um, if we're being vulnerable, that you're able to share some real challenges. And I know that you are an incredibly social person, an incredibly giving person. I think most people would use giving as a term to describe how you are in your relationships. And I think that's wonderful that you recognize the importance of finding that balance for yourself because you were not balanced, and changing your social circles to make them more beneficial for you. That's amazing. And then recognizing too in your physical sphere, there are some things that you find challenging when it comes to selecting food because of the gluten allergy. And I know how I can see it on you, how difficult it is sometimes to be at peace with it and just to sort of enjoy it. Like we have to pick restaurants, but we know there's going to be multiple options, or we don't go out because the pain, the actual physical pain and distress that you go under, when you consume gluten. I mean, I had no idea, and so I think it's important. I would encourage people out there, if you do deal with things like that, be mindful of it and really come up with good plans. That's how you get over that stuff. That's how you manage it. Don't just pretend it doesn't exist, or like, oh, it's okay. You don't have to live that way. You can make really good decisions. So that's awesome that you figured that out, and then you have this great game plan for that. Because I always wonder, like, oh my god, how's she going to pull this off? And she's like, oh no, don't worry. I ate 2 hours ago, and it was a big meal, and I'm
Yeah.
perfectly happy. I'll whatever, have dessert or
I
however.
think with
Great.
anything, any challenge you're having in your five spheres, it's coming up with a game plan. And
Yeah.
that's why we created the app. That's why we tell people, even just write it down, write down your, draw your five circles and write what your challenges are, and then start creating a plan to address those challenges. So I think, this is a great way to end the year, is by you and I sharing what we did in our 5 years. Obviously, we could go into more detail. If anyone wants to hear more, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. But I hope this helped anyone listening to come up with a plan for 2024. My cousin, who I do the Indian Explorers podcast with, asked me what my New Year's resolutions were. And I said, honestly, it's just to continue working on my 5 spheres each and every day and continue to find balance and happiness and fitness for life. That's what I feel will make me happy.
Well said, Sabrina. And I'll just sort of buttress that point by saying that I'm going to do the same thing. I think we both have adapted and adopted to a growth mindset, and that's all we're looking for, is to be the best version of ourselves. I'm not competing with anyone, just myself. I want to be the best person I can be for my family, and then of course my friends, and hopefully new friends that I'll meet. That's
2024, new friends for Noel.
Yep. Constantly evolving and really enjoying the journey of it, not putting too much pressure on anything. And I think as 2024 comes, I'll turn 48 January 1st. And so I'm looking forward to just seeing what will unfold. But I've sort of started that path. And I know it can be bumpy, but I'm okay because I got the 5 spheres to take care of me.
Absolutely. A good way to find resources within your 5 spheres and come up with a game plan for your challenges. So, with that being said, happy holidays, everyone. Happy New Year. I hope the new year is filled with good health, good wealth, whether it's mentally or socially, financially, and lots of love.
Same, same. Enjoy, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.